Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Q&A and live. So we'll just wait for people to start turning up, as always, before we start doing any questions and stuff like that. Um, I can just see on my phone there the notification has gone out, and we'll wait for people to start arriving. If any of you want to know what I'm doing, I'm actually fixing a beret that I just cap edged today. Um, Hello, Mr. Shanahan. Hello, Danny Reese, my brother from another mother. How are you? Um, I believe you're at work, Danny, aren't you? Yeah, so I managed to get a Navy beret today for my Queen's Own self-loading rifles, cap edge, and I'm just tidying it up. For if any of you don't know what this isn't a real regiment. This is a fancy dress thing. Yes, work. It's a very loose term. Um, what this is uh, for a group that I'm affiliated with. When we're doing things that could be a little bit of a sensitive nature, especially with op banner and stuff like that, we came up with our own cap edge so people don't get upset. Um, that that's historically incorrect. They never did that. Well, yeah, okay, we know they didn't do that, but other members did, and we don't want to wear their cap edge because we don't want to be disrespectful. So we wear our own cap edge, which is quite funny. And some people come up to you going, it hasn't happened to me, but some people have come up to the lads going, I recognise that cap badge. And you're like going, no, you aren't. Hey, as the herbal farmers say. Gary, evening, hello, how are you? That shirt will be out to you possibly Monday, Gary. I meant to do it today, but I forgot. Sorry. Um, I have to adjust my clock to Irish time as I thought it started at 8 o'clock. Yeah, well, thereabouts. We're nearly there. Evening, all. Good evening. Nice to be here. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I spent my evening doing. Now, it is a bit tight on me, but we'll get there. So, yeah, so that is our cap edge for the Queen's Own self-loading rifles. I don't know what we're going to call it. Are we still going to be the Queen's Own, or are we going to change it now to the King's Own? I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. That's our little cap edge. Our little group cap edge. So, yeah. Timothy Canhill. Hello, how are you? How are we all keeping? How is everyone doing? Hi, Stan, mate. Does the man cave pink of pink? I think a stink of Silverman's. They should bottle that and that bottle. That's fine. I actually have been moving and tidying up and doing some renovations around the man cave the last few days. I got a new shelving unit for all my books and stuff, and uh, I got new perspex boxes, not perspex, storage boxes for bits and bobs as well. So yeah, so I have been doing a bit of cleaning and tidying. Um, Herefordshire Regimental Museums we've been talking, Danny Reese. Um, if you haven't seen that video, lads, of Hereford Regimental Museum, go and look at it. I think it's about, is it the last video I did? Um, it's a very nice little museum. It's a great little museum. And those private little museums, those regimental museums, they really rely on people to come and say hello and people to call in and look at the museum. So if you're ever in Hereford or ever around that area, I did leave them their actual email as well on top of the video description. Go check them out, guys. It's a fantastic little museum. That museum, or the medal collection for that guy Chip, it's a story in itself. And they have some really strange items, or not strange, but interesting items that you will not see in any other regimental museums, such as Dernotz's pendant that was borrowed off of his car when he was in negotiations with this a certain regiment. They went, yeah, that looks nice, and yanked it off the bonnet. Um, yeah, so if you have any history or any information about Hereford or any of those regiments around that area, go check them out and go look at it. Um, and Danny's a very knowledgeable guy. I hope to have Danny, and I hope to be doing it in live streams. I have the software now. I need to figure out how to do it. Whereas I will get lads, Gary there, if he's Gary's still there. I think I just seen a message pop up from him. The likes of Gary, Danny, Steve Davis, Stan, bring those guys onto the channel for the Friday night lives, so they can, so we can ask them questions as well, and we can talk to them. Timothy, evening. Oh, good. How are you? That's good. It's good to know you're okay. Jim, evening. Stan May. Oh, sorry, read that one. Timothy is good. Stan, cheers. Jim Timber, no, it went straight into the wash. Oh, you didn't wash it, did you? Kenny, evening. Hello, Kenny. How are you? Jim is giving out to Stan. Hereford, cheers for the show. No problem. It's a great little museum, Danny. Gary. Oh, Gary is there. Gary Hall, Herefordshire Regimental Museum is a fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, Gary there himself, guys. If any of you are in that area, the Up Banner Museum that is in Armagh. I have done a little video on that as well. Go check that out as well. That's another fantastic little museum. If any of you are in the area, go say hello and go call into him. Kettle's always on there, so yeah. The refurb has been a 2-year lockdown project. Check out the video of Chip on my channel. I must go check it out. On what happened there? Ooh, what's going on with my computer? Everything is shutting down. My connection. Are we still there? Hello? Hello? Give me thumbs up, guys, if I'm still here. Hello? Everything there? I must go check out Chip's medals himself, or that video. Good evening, guys. Hello, Nick. How are you, old helmet? Good evening. Hope you're all doing well. We are. Did I see my MRT fly in there somewhere? I think we did. He's in Sweden, if I believe. Loud and clear. Evening, everyone. Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Andrew, look. There we go. Already. It is blue. It does look black, but it is navy blue. So there we go. There. I know you were giving out to me that it's over the left eye. So there we go. No. Happy? We're all badged up and ready to go. My MRT1, hello, how are you? Gary Hall still there? Yeah, I'm still here, mate. I don't know what happened. Oh, fire Dave. Her newest addition to my collection is a Pasget. Oh, so yeah, somebody asked me what the newest part of my collection was. Looks perfect. The newest part of my collection. What did I get in England? I got a Commando jumper in England when I was at the Victory Show. I got a Royal Munster Fusiliers cap badge. But I suppose the newest acquisition, or the newest thing that has been donated to the museum or my collection, I haven't done it yet. I probably will do it tomorrow or over the weekend. Is that? Did anyone question time? Andrew, you're not allowed to answer because you're a jock. You will know. Anyone know what cap badge that is? That's my newest acquisition. It was kindly donated to me by Andrew Johnson. So, Royal Scots, no, you were wrong, Jim. Go again, try again. Looks perfect, thank you. Oh, the hat. Kenny is back. I feel guilty for what happened back when I killed him. Yeah, just stop trying to kill Kenny. If that Brett is tight on your head, it must be 55. It's actually 57. 57. But it's a leather band, so the leather bands are always a bit tighter. So it needs to be a good stretching. Yeah. But there we go. That's actually a bit better now. Then it's starting to stretch. No. Yes, so we are looking for. No, it is not Scots Guard. We're looking for. Can anyone tell me what that cap badge is? Because that is the newest acquisition. Danny, actually, I'm surprised Danny hasn't popped in with what that cap badge is, because he's sort of very cool with cap badges. No. Scots Guards. No, it's not the Scots Guards. I'll give you another hint. Royal Scots. No. Royal Scots. No. Goes on that. And it is black. So that should be a hint on what regiment it is. I got a Belgian Achilles Place yoke for £5 brand new. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Black Watch, yes, correct. Military collectibles there with the save. It is the Black Watch. Jim came in with the Black Watch. Gary's in with the Black Watch. Hereford's Regimental Museum. Black Mafia. Black Mafia is actually another piece of history for you. That is the regiment known as the Black Mafia. Does anyone know who that regiment is? Are we all going to have a go at this regiment? Who's that regiment? Black Mafia, Royal Green Jackets. Yes, there we go. They are the Black Mafia. Royal Green Jackets. Yes, Jim, you were right. They steal everything. No, that's they can't pack it, be a jacket. Most regiments and a lot of battalions, even in the Irish Army, have their own. They're very good at scrounging stuff. They are very good at scrounging. Take the SAS. They were famous for when they were first set up in North Africa. They were told to meet at this spot. So they met at that spot, and then they were told, go get a camp. So they literally went and stole a camp that was belonged to New Zealanders that were away on an exercise down the road. And myth has it, or legend, urban legend has it, that they even stole the piano out of the officers' mess. So, yeah. So, tactically acquiring and military relocating of equipment is not a known and not a new phenomenon. It has been around for a long, long, long time. Nothing gets stolen, it's borrowed for a long term. Yes, it is, it's borrowed. David Stirling was the man behind the SAS, Scotsman. David Stirling, yes, he was. He was the founding father of the SAS, I suppose, but for their history of World War II, or for the time that they spent in World War II, David Stirling was a very small, minute. I won't say minute because he was still a big part of it. But Paddy Mayne, right? I think Paddy Mayne was actually a longer IC of the SAS than Stirling was, because Stirling had been captured and he'd been sent to Colditz and stuff like that at that stage. But forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe Paddy Mayne was longer in command of the SAS than Stirling was. David Stirling was the man behind it. He was the founding father. He did do a lot with it. He got everything sorted. He got everything. It was his brainwave, shall we say? 11 Scots Commando provided the original core members. Yeah, that is true, Danny. Danny there from Hereford Regimental Museums. He is a big collector of SAS stuff. Being from Hereford, that's their normal area. So yeah, so he would have been. He does an awful lot of their history. The Peaky Blinders, no. LRDG was the big OGSS. They took members from the LRDG, but the LRDG, remember, was a reconnaissance, long-range desert group. They didn't do exactly as much raiding and fighting as the SAS did. The SAS were primarily a raiding regiment or raiding detachment. So yeah. After he went into Beg, he became a big nuisance in Colditz. He did actually. He I think he tried to escape like 7 or 8 times. So yeah. The 11th Scottish Commandos did the LRG later provide members for the SAS after their role became redundant in North Africa. I know the famous navigator that went to the SAS. He was originally LRDG, Long Range Desert Group. And you don't know, Mountbatten Pink. Oh, you mean the Pinkies? Paddy Mayne was from Cookstown up here, and some of his items were on display in the war years. Members of Ballyclare. There is Gary, if I remember, is there a small little museum for him in Cookstown? Because Danny wants me to go. I must actually do this. I'm going to go up and I'm going to do a video. I might liaise on with you because you know that area better than I would. I think there's a small little museum of Paddy Mayne up in that area that we might go and see. And if you know where he was birthplace, because he was killed in a car accident actually up around there, we might actually go and do a quick video on those spots if we could. His ship was painted in their colours. Oh, Mountbatten Pink, sorry. I'm wondering what you're on about. Mike Sadler, 103, old original navigator in the LRG later went. Yeah, is he still alive, Mike Sadler? Because I can remember watching a documentary about him and he was going on about the Sun Compass, this thing that the LRDG, was it the Sun Compass? Or was that the Vikings? They came up with this compass thingy that they could navigate in the desert with. I think it was made out of timber, if I remember correctly. It was like it was a weird looking thing. My mate's granddad was LRDG during World War II. They built those guys directly. They built those guys. Oh, differently. Sorry, they did. Yeah. That's the whole thing, like the Greatest Generation. Were they built differently, or were they just asked to do something that, like, when you think about the First World War guys, and then you have the World War II guys. The First World War guys literally ran over the top of a trench facing certain death, and to have the balls and the gusto to get up those ladders and go over the top must have been absolutely ridiculous. Yes, don't get me wrong. The guys in World War II were extremely brave, and did extremely hard things. But yeah, I suppose it's interesting when you look at statistics of the Victoria Cross and the Medal of Honor and stuff like that. Like, it's so, believe it, I think it's something ridiculous, like 70% or 75% of Victoria Cross winners are the oldest sons of families that they had to provide for, or something like that. That's the statistic. It's weird. But yeah, we it's. I think it's just that we're in that position and in that space and time that they had to make really hard decisions, executive decisions, to become as hard and as tough as they were. Like, the lads in the SAS today are amazing. We just don't hear about them. I'm really looking forward to Obi-Wan Nairobi's book when it comes out. I can't remember his real name, but he was the SAS operative that was involved in the Nairobi incident, where he basically single-handedly went in and took out 2 terrorists or something like that, and saved a rake of people. But I'm really looking forward to his book, and I guarantee you Hollywood's going to make it into a movie as well. But his book is coming out soon, which is going to be a great book. When I was at the Victory show as well, prior to the Victory show, I went over, and Herefordshire Regimental Museum, Danny Reese kindly put me up in his home, and he brought me around and showed me certain spots in Hereford. He brought me to the St. Mary's Church, or St. Mary's Cathedral. I can't remember if it's a cathedral or just a church, where the SAS graveyard is. And it was ironic. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. humbling, I suppose would be the better would be the better word to describe, because first of all you had Laba Laba. If any of you know it, Laba Laba was killed in Oman. He should have gotten a Victoria Cross, but he didn't get a Victoria Cross. He was a member of the Royal Irish Regiment, Royal Irish Rangers at the time, before he went into the SAS. He was there. You had the 20 odd guys, their plaques that were killed in the helicopter accident in the Falklands. You had Vince, what's his name, and Legs from Bravo 20. They were buried there, and it's just, I found it humbling, and I found it, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It brings you down to earth when you know these guys' stories, know what they went through, know what their last minutes of their life were, and you're sitting here looking at their grave, or standing there looking at their grave. It was just yeah, I found that very nice, very interesting. Sorry, I went off on a rant there. There were a load of questions came in there that I missed. The Sun Compass had a correction calculated on it, as it would be participated on Salisbury's plane. Oh, okay. I didn't know that now. I can remember seeing a picture of him. I think we were made of timber. Not sure about the museum in Cookstown. I know his family donated items belonging to him to the war years remembered in Ballyclare, but there is a statue of him in Newtownards. Yeah, Gary, I'll liaison with you and we'll go up and we'll do a few videos up around there. Howard Patton Sun Compass. I have one. Well, I didn't doubt you, Danny, knowing that you're a SAS collector. I'm sure you have one. Sun Compass. Danny actually has a fantastic collection of stuff. He showed me in his house some Third Reich items, SAS items, massive medal collection. Yeah, some very, 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 very nice items. I got a great book from the works. 3 days in June. I got a great book from the works. 3 days in June. £3. That's a good book actually. It's a good price as well actually. Oh yeah, I'm getting mixed up. What are we getting mixed up about? The cathedral, is it? What's the Jupiter? St. Martin's. No, I don't think it's St. Martin's. I think it's St. Mary's. I don't know, is it church or cathedral? I think it's church for some reason. Oh, there we go. There's Denny. St. Martin's Church. Prior to 1,000 chaps buried there. St. Martin's Church. Sorry. Oh, so I was wrong. It's not Mary's. Oh, okay. I apologise. Most sun compasses could only be used when the operator was stationary. The LRDG Bagnod Sun Compass was invented so it could be used in moving vehicles. Oh, okay, that's something interesting. Some tough dudes in the SAS, mostly Irish and Scots. I know. I think they released their figures lately about lads from Ireland going into the British Army. I think it's something ridiculous, like 60 or 70% of their intake are Irish guys from the Republic or from the North. So if you take those numbers and then if 60 or 70% of the main British Army is Irish or Northern Irish, so yeah, there are SAS guys that are Irish. I'm under no illusion that there are. Also, Second Cemetery is private. Yeah, it is. It is private. Their new cemetery, shall we say? But yeah. Good evening, Ralph. Oh, Ralph is after popping in. Hello, Ralph. Hello, how are you? Kenny, IB in Nairobi. Obi-Wan Nairobi was a hell of an opera. He was. He literally took the bull by the horns. Look up later on this evening. Go look up Obi-Wan Nairobi on YouTube. There's an awful lot of people doing reactions to his stories because his story is coming out now, and he's wrote a book or writing a book or something like that. Oh, I can't think of his real name, but I have seen a picture of him with his rack on or his medals on. and you'd need a second chest nearly to wear him. He's literally from here, from his chest bone all the way out to his armpit is just metals. Oh, can't think of his name. Greg, that's it, Greg. He's a weird name. He's a weird second name as well. Craig's Head. Is it Craig's Head? Craig's Head? Something like that. In the Netherlands, the greatest military hero of today is a man named Marco Kung. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that gentleman. Maybe you can enlighten us, Craig something head. Craig something head. Oh, Richard Lowe. Hello again from Poland. Cześć, witam. Christian Craighead. That's the guy. That's him. Movie director Roland Ryan is now making a film about Marco Kern's life. Oh, okay. Very cool. Actually was watching a thing on National Geographic today about the Navy. Sorry, Life Under the Sea or something it's called. Something Under the Sea. It's about the World War II Americans in the Pacific, submarine guys in the Pacific. My God, did they have a tough life. Andy, actually, I don't mind if he minds me saying Andrew Johnson that does be there on the chats. I'm sure a few of you know him. He has a family member that was involved with the submarines, the British Army submarines, British Navy submarines, I should say, they're not Army. And it is a really, really, really tough life because I can remember watching a documentary about them, especially the guys now during the 80s and 90s when literally you had a satellite phone, you didn't have internet or anything like that. When they closed that hatch and when you went under the water, you were down for a couple of months. So, like, what happened at home? Richard Lewis, message deleted by Dave Byrne. View deleted message. What happened there, Dave? What was it called? I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, so you go down to sea, or you go under the water. Once they close that hatch, you don't have any contact with the outside world. So I mean, guys with families, kids, girlfriends, wives, whatever, parents, they go to sea, they go under that ocean. Something happens at home, they don't know about it for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, depends. I don't know, is there a protocol for telling guys, look, your mum is after passing away, your dad is after passing away? Do they tell them straight away? Do they wait till they resurface? Do they have radio communications? I don't know. I really don't know what the hell that circumstance. But like the commitment to do that must be absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't do it. I know I wouldn't do it. Such a humble guy too. Who's the humble guy? Oh, this lad Marco Kearns you were on about. Best soldiers are sometimes naughty in private. I don't understand. Most sorry to get all international security. Oh, okay. Like it's weird because I know guys from Irish Army Special Forces. I know one or two from American Special Forces. I know some from Australian Special Forces. And outside of the army or outside of their job, they're just humble guys, nice guys, kind guys. But to have that switch that when you flick it, they go into a different person. But yeah, they're really, really nice guys, and only for the fact that you know what they are, or because I had served with a few of them and I know who they are. Um, it's strange to think that they're capable of doing what they're capable of, because to you they're just Harry, Jack, and Paddy, or whatever their names are, and they're just good guys to go watch the game of football with, go for a coffee, go have a pint with. But then when you know them in their professional life, they're completely different other guys. Such a humble guy with soldiers or something. Sorry to get all that. Barber filled a bomber with toilet paper and TP in an airfield. Who? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about there, guys. Best soldiers get bored. Um, I don't know. Isn't Tulski beer? Tulski is a beer. Richard Lewis, yes indeed, Kenny. Oh, you're on about beers, yeah, Kenny. Richard, I can see your messages there now. I don't know what's happening. Stone Killer is needed. Are my messages appearing? They are. I met a SASR trooper and he was very witty. He shared two beers in Afghanistan. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan. Um, they're just humble, nice guys. I have killed Kenny several times. It happens. Oh, did you kill Richard by accident? Sorry, don't kill Richard. Richard's actually okay. He's a friend of Jim's. The Kenny pickles aren't. Did somebody aim for Kenny? Poor Kenny. Chickens, tranquils, snake eaters. They're called themselves. He keeps getting up. Yeah, try not to kill Kenny. I have a friend of mine. He is SASR as well. I have another friend that is a commando in Australian Army. He actually sent me. I have done a video on it. He sent me the new multicam uniform. He is in the process of sending me one of our commando berets. I don't actually have many special forces items. I have because like that. I have an SASR regiment beret because a friend of mine who I know is a physical SASR man handed it me and went, "There you go. That's my beret. Spare one. Have it." Because unless a guy physically hands me it that I know has been badged or has been in the SAS, I take everything with a pinch of salt, or it's been special forces like Grom or whatever like that. I take it with a pinch of salt because um, you can buy them readily on the internet. Whereas if a guy who I physically know is a badge member and hands it to me, yeah, that is a real SAS beret, or it is a real green beret, or it is whatever. So yeah, so it's I take it with a pinch of salt. Um, Kenny is now under the protection of the timber armored unit. Um, yeah, so that's it. What did I bring back from Victory? Actually, I didn't get much in Victory. I bought myself a jumper, a commando jumper. A valuable anti-tank capability is always available. 770,000 from the south of Ireland enlisted during World War II. They did, and something more like I think it was like 200 and something, quarter of a million or over a quarter of a million, joined during the First World War. So yeah, so there was a massive influx of Irish guys that have served in the British Army. They've always served in the British Army. They always will. It's just one of those things. An awful lot of people now have regimental history in the British Army. So yeah, what do you use for aging and improving the finish of your Denex or airsoft rifles? Going to try and fix the finish on my MU Denex SMLE. What I used on my SMLE, if it's handy, is This is a Denex SMLE. I have shown this on numerous occasions, but seeing as I've been asked the question, I will show it again. This is an SMLE Denex. Right? YouTube, this is as much good as a fucking paperwork. Right? Right. So, what I did was I restained the stock. Because it comes in like a ready horrible timber color, so I literally sanded it down and I got proper Ronseal or proper stain, and I stained the stock. Then what I did was I got a green Scotch pad that you get for cleaning pots and pans and stuff, or even a small bit of wire wool, and I rubbed everything that I thought would be used, like the bolt, the knob of the bolt from being used, the sight from being raised up and down, the edges of the ramp, the edges of the foresight, the bayonet lug on the front from having the bayonet on and off it. Yeah, so that's how I aged it. Oh, and I brassoed the plate. Could do it a bit more, but I brassoed that. But yeah, so that's what I did. My MRT, I hope that helps. What I did with my SMLE. Right, there we go. Sorry, I just heard something. Help, I'm being repressed. Stop repressing Kenny, guys. My grandfather included. Oh, but join the British Army. Sorry. Haha, red flag is flipping Kenny. My MRT, I use blue paste, comes up nicely. Yeah, that's another way of using it. It always is a bit of wet and dry and high spots. Yeah, I just use the green Scotch pad. Worked out fine for me. I fired an SMLE as a cadet. Kicks like a mule. It does. 303 rounds are gonna kick hard. What wood stain did I use? What wood stain did I use? I can't remember off the top of my head. I do have a can of it in the shed still that I will bring it in for. Remind me, Stan, and I'll send you a picture of it. I do have it in the shed. Nice prop. It is a nice prop. Walnut. Was it walnut? I can't remember. Thanks for the tips. No problem. Jim Timber. 7.762 or full metal jacket. It's a 303 in it. Yeah, it is actually 303. Richard, my local range has a Lee Enfield boat. It turns out to be a 1950s Italian numbers in 7.62, 7.8. Oh, still good. Gone. It looks the part. 7.6, like, oh, sorry, excuse me there. Let's get a cramp in my leg. Ow. I think it was up until recently that the Indian police or the Pakistani police or somebody, forgive me if I'm wrong, were still using 303s, SMLEs, and Mark 4s. I know when I did part of my training in the Irish Army, we did part of it on a T, an Enfield T, or a number 4 Mark T. Before we went on to the next phase of the training. So yeah, yeah, it was interesting. No, not everyone used the T because I remember they went straight onto the Accuracy International. But for some reason we had a T, or we had 2 T's, and that's what we practiced our marksmanship principles on first before we actually used the Accuracy Internationals. I don't know why, but there you go. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm just reading something here. Oh, I see what Andy is putting up the live stream on a group page. So you might be getting a couple of lunatics in here now shortly. The Indian, what have we got? Nice, Richard. They rechambered them. They did it. They made them. But they went from 303 to 7.62. I can remember using Indian rounds one time for something, whatever it was, and they're crap. They're absolutely. You spend most of your time doing IEAs than anything else because was it Indian blank rounds we had for something? Bloody crap. Indian rechambered lots of Mark 4s. Oh, okay. If you call it 303 British, you can calm down. You will call down the demon of Rimlock on yourself. I've seen converted SMLEs to 410 shotgun chamber as riot guns for the Indian police for sale in in the UK. Nearly give shotgun license so I could get one. Nearly got a shotgun license so I could get one. You can get them here as well. Actually, you can get SMLEs and 410 shotgun. You can also get. Can you get M1 Garands and 410? I think you can. I think you can, and you can get Mark 4s and 410s as well. GBH to the eardrums. Oh, good. Yeah, there's some whack off of a 410. Some whack off of a 303. 7.62 even. Lovable lunatics. They are lovable lunatics, actually, no, in fairness. I do miss them when they're not around. Click bang. When we were doing tactics, if we didn't have, for whatever reason, I was thinking about getting that 2-stand, so I load at a show with 410 SMLE. Movie prop, not a real AK. YouTube don't have a frigging canary. But when we were on tactics, and we didn't have blanks, or we ran out of blanks, or for whatever reason we were doing a talk through, or a dry fire, because our magazine was back here. So magazine and the styre was back behind your ear, literally back here. So your foregrip is up here. So what we used to do was they'd be going, all right, okay, you, and you'll fire 3 rounds. You go, taka, 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 and you'd slap the magazine. So it was like, taka, taka, taka. Yeah, just when I think of high tech army, and we're still going bang, 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 bang. You're dead. No, I'm not. You missed me. We shout banana. Another thing we used to do as well. Sinead is a girl's name in Ireland. Sinead. Sinead O'Connor, everyone knows that. But we used to pull the pin in a grenade and you throw a grenade. We used to start with Sinead. Sinead. Yeah, we used to get in trouble for that as well. Nice prop. Oh, the AK, yeah. It's fine. It does the trick. I think the perfect weapon is a 6 in a breech pump action shotgun with a bayonet. The 18, what is this? The 18 something Remington shotgun, trench shotgun. That'd be a good piece of kit to have. We shout banana. Oh yeah, we shout Sinead. Banana. Yeah, that's it, Andrew. I reckon if I ever win lotto, I will buy a farm. A shotgun is essential. So Lee Enfield and a K98K in 310. Can you get K98s in 310? I suppose you could. Was about to say banana. My favourite Irish girl's name is Niamh. That's not how you spell Niamh, but yeah, I know what you mean. Not a lot of people can pronounce correctly. Niamh. Yeah. Aoife is another one. Niamh, Aoife, Saoirse, Sinead, Shona is another one. Can never pronounce it. Shinoiga. What's your name? Shinoiga? No, Shona. Aoife, Niamh. Saoirse, another girl's name. Could be a boy's name actually as well, Saoirse. Then in Irish, then you have Tig, Oisin. Boys' names: Tig, Oisin, Fionn, Cuchulainn, Micheál, Padraig, Sean, which is my name in Irish, Sean. Um, Padraig would be Patrick or Pat. Micheál would be Michael. What else? What other Irish names are there? Like we're very ingenious with Irish names. There's 3 islands off the coast of near where I live. They're called the Aran Islands. There's 3 islands, right? You've Inishmaan, which is near island. Inisheer, which is near island. Inishmaan, which is middle island, and Inishmore, which is big island. Very easy way to solve which is which. I have dyslexia. So did she with the Holy Father back in the day. John, I've seen K98K is in 410. Also, I suppose if you had the money, you could pay a dealer to not deactivate the weapon and convert it to 410 as long as you had the license, of course. Lazy screw is so because it's always in the bed. Don't get that one, but okay. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other names are there. But yeah, sorry. Getting back to military history. I would love if I did have the money, and if I could, and if I was allowed. What I would like to do is I'd love to have every service rifle that the Irish Army have had. So you'd have the SMLE, Mark IV, SLR, Steyr Mark 1, and now the Steyr Mark 2, which is just a note market for still the same rifle. They just changed the sights and did other bits and pieces. So they'll be the main service rifles that the Irish Army have used. Then the other side of it, what I would like to do is Gustav, Swedish K, GPMG, Vickers. What other guns did the Irish Army use? Pine 5, 84, Carl Gustav 84, Ground 90, LA 96, G3. Yeah, the list goes on of. Then pistols. You have SIG 226 is what they use now. Before that, you had the Browning high power, the BAP as we used to call it, Browning automatic pistol. And you had the Webley, I think. Never had 911s, or 1911s. Sounds like a girl who would want a shrubbery gym. Jim Timber, Amy, Avine, Chloe, Clodagh, yeah. Dervla. Where are you finding all these names? Neve, Fiona. Have you been Googling? What a little pet. We are the knights who say Neve. You best sell the wife and house to get that lot. Yeah, I think a GPMG, a deactivated GMG now, I think it's going for something like 3,000 or 4,000, if I'm not mistaken. I love the Jimpy, very hot barrels. They had to be switched off training, otherwise it'd melt them. They used to get so hot you could see the bullets popping up the shout. I've used the GPMGs in anger, shall we say. And I can't remember, is it 400 rounds? We used to have 50 belts. And after every 3, so 2, 4, 6, so 5, so 1, 2, 300 rounds. After 6 belts, we used to change the barrels. So we had 50 round belts. So 2, 5, so that's 100, 200, 300. Yeah, so every 300 rounds, we used to change the barrels. When we fired six belts, was when we used to change the barrels. If I remember off the top of my head. I think that's right. I've been out for a dance with these girls, only of them. Yeah. Diak Lewis guns, big money, bloody hell. They're up on 6k, are they? Ooh. Someone in Airsoft needs to make a GPMG. They did make a GP. Well, they didn't make a GPMG. They made a 249 Bravo, which is the American version of it, and a Bren in gas blowback. Somebody at the Victory Show had, and where he got it, how he got it, I don't want to know. But he had a blank firing Bren gun, an actual real one, with 303 rounds in it, proper 303 blank rounds in it. Yeah, and it was something ridiculous. It was like £60 a magazine for blank rounds was what he was using or something like that. It was crazy. There is a guy who does a 3D print of them real parts like bipods. Oh, the GPMGs, yeah, Kilkenny. Or a Denex SLR. Yeah, Denex SLR would be good too. Polish girl's name a bit easier. Koshka, Eva, Orla, everyone needs one. We used to work with a girl called, we had 2 Polish girls working with us. One was Edita and the other was Evelina. Yeah. My dad is a Berlin. My dad was a Bren gunner in Malaya. He used to joke us an old man fire from the hip. I've seen Bren's been fired from the hip. I've seen GPMG's been fired from the hip. Big lads that can do it though. Magda's another. Did we have a Magda that worked for us as well? Can't remember. He must have won and pools. He must have won the pools to afford a blank firing Bren. I didn't ask him how much it was. I didn't ask him how he got it, but yeah, apparently it was a blank firing. VFC just released them. They did actually release a file. Was the blank firing Bren full auto? Yes, it was, because I seen it in the battle, the mock battle. Best Polish girls. Alicia, Bill Prop maybe. There was there was a .5 blank firing gun, if I remember, a 50 cal on top of one of the tanks. Now whether it was gas or whether it was blank, I don't know, but it was there. What else was there? There was a couple of 30 cals, but I think they were gas guns. I don't think they were proper blank firing guns. Alicia is a great one, actually. My mother-in-law's name. Got to shoot Brain at Wrestling Cadets. We don't have cadets here, actually. I was talking to Danny about that. We don't have cadets here. Cadets, we have Boys Brigade. Not so much Boys Brigade down this end. Boys Brigade up near Gary's end, yes. And Scouts. I don't know, actually, even in the north of Ireland, have they cadets. I've never heard of them. Maybe because of the troubles and stuff up there, they don't have cadets. But definitely down here in the south, we don't have cadets anyway. We have Boy Scouts, Boys Brigade in certain areas. Girl Guides has died a death because you don't have the Girl Guides anymore. I suppose there are still around the place, but the Boy Scouts became co-ed, so you can have boys and girls in the Boy Scouts now. So the Girl Guides are sort of taking a beating now at the minute with their numbers. Yeah, I fired a Bren in 1983 in the Cadets Blanks. Also, the Enfield Blanks, know your plugs. Gas guns suck if you are not set up right. They use like real MG and mainly fire from bursts. I went to a boarding school with a cadet detachment. Oh, okay. Timothy isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, you are right. You do have an Irish name. There's 2 cadet battalions in Northern Ireland. Oh, is there? I didn't know that. All Polish girls' names end in A. Top tip. Oh, I didn't know that, no. Yeah, they have cadets up here, and they also have Girl Guides still big up here. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. And who were the cadets in the north then? Are they, I suppose, Royal Irish? Would the cadet force be up there? I don't know. Is there any other permanent battalion or permanent regiment in the north? I don't even know if the Royal Irish are permanent in the north anymore. It used to be guards. The Welsh guards at one stage were permanently based in the north. I don't know what their permanent regiments are up there now. I only really use my gas G3 in single shot. Slight bit. Slight bit. Or is that what you mean, I wonder? Military preparations classes normally to Polish high schools. Different world over here. Yeah, there's no military team training. Scouts, I suppose, would be the nearest thing to it, but not so much anymore. Like we don't have any cadets. There's no cadet school. Well, we do have a cadet school, but there's no military academies like you see in America or England or places like that. We've no officer candidate schools in our universities and stuff like that. Belfast, I think. Belfast have a university officers candidate detachment. I actually have one of their carbines. Not in the south. We don't. Trinity College or UCC or all those colleges or all them. They don't have any officer cadet type things. Which is wrong. I think they should. Kenny, I feel free. Sorry, what am I going? Kenny, I feel for you, bro. I went to public school where they used to beat you with cane if you were lucky. It's like the Monty Python Yorkshireman sketch. Luxury gym. To be fair, Ireland has a difficult geographical situation. Yeah, I suppose it does. But I think I'm not opposed to the idea of something like that because I think it would teach respect and manners to some of the younger kids around the place. But yeah, I was involved in scouts for a long, long time, but I went away from it because, quite frankly, I didn't like this direction I was heading. Because when I was in scouts, it was all about camping and kayaking and adventure and kids being kids, whereas it was too much politics and too much. Oh, you can't do that with the kids now. It's raining. We can't go on hikes and stuff like that. It was too much politics getting involved in it, so that's why I sort of stepped away from it. Hole in the road. You were rich. Still got cane or slapper till I slipper till I was 13. I laughed at the headmaster once when he told me to fetch a plimsoll and said I'm only a size 4, and he said get a 6 farmers 1, no less than. Of course we had it tough. I was 12 as a 6. Size 12. I was 6. Shit, that's one big foot. Graham Curry, military in the UK, makes replica GPMGs to order rather full metal. Can be dry fired or gas. Blank fired. Oh, okay. That's cool. They're expensive though, it says CJ, are they? I know a DIAC GPMG, you're talking big money. Old school master at my school used to cane us in the early 80s. He was a Hurricane pilot in World War II. You wonder too, how many, because like mental health and post-traumatic stress disorder stuff in militaries today is a big, huge thing. It's a massive thing. Like, how much of were those lads coming back from World War II, Korea, Vietnam? Well, Vietnam, I suppose, is the famous one where an awful lot of guys came back with mental health. But the likes of the First World War and the Second World War, they were just sent home. Just, bye lads, service is done. Like, their mental health must have taken an awful beating. No Brasso and Sir getting Betty, I hope. Should I add a difficult word today? Yeah, it is. There's an awful lot of wokeness and fairy cakeness going around and stuff going around now. Like, I mean, that prime example of not everyone is a winner. So, like, kids today now have no. I've seen it myself. They have no. Like, oh, Mammy said I'm special. Yes, you are special. You're very special. You're like, you're good. You have your way of things, but like, not everyone is the same. Not everyone can sing. Not everyone can draw. Um, Not everyone is a good footballer. Not everyone's a good hurler. Not everyone's a good climber. And everybody gets participation medal now. Everybody gets a medal, no matter first, second, third, or fourth. What's the point in having places anymore? Because everybody gets a medal. Yeah, I understand it. I don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I don't want to go down that slope. I was beaten by a plimsoll so many times I had Dunlop scared into my jacksie. I think of getting a plimsoll tattoo on my butt. Well said. What all about the walkery and stuff like that. It would have to be reserved. I used to plug in a 1,000,000 volt generator they had in the psychics lab at weekends. It made the hair teacher Teddy go rainbow coloured. He never worked it out. Oh God, lads, we're up on the hour. Right, so give me 5 minutes there to answer me questions. If not, I'm gonna log out and go home, go sleep. So just give me 5 minutes. Crossfire replicas, metal GPMGs, £495. Average UK price for a DIAC, 2,700 Big difference from a DIAC to a copy. I hid the words to projected school song. When I first started out in rugby at 18, I was shite. I just grounded it out and eventually played regular first team just by getting on with it. Not for everyone, but it worked for me. Exactly, that's it. Like, I mean, it's like everything else. You can't learn, like, if you pick up a guitar, unless you practice or unless you constantly do the same thing, you're not going to get any good at it. Same as shooting. Shooting is a repetitive and it is a perishable skill. Unless you keep doing it or unless you stay at it, that skill will die. Footballers, some are born with natural ability, but an awful lot of them is practice and training and coaching and hard work. Any sportsman, when you look at them, yes, they all have a certain amount of natural ability, but they all put in their hard work, they all train, and they all make an effort. It's not, well, hey, you are now an Olympic grade runner or athlete or whatever. You have to put in the work and you have to put in the effort. When I first, sorry, I read that one. That's not a bad price for a GPMG, but can convert a deactivated to airsoft without running foul of the law. Oh, can't you? I don't know. I don't know what's the story with the act. I think Fozzie has a Crossfire replica GPMG. It's not too bad for the money. Okay. I didn't know Fozzie had a GPMG. It makes a big heart and large sweat. It takes a big heart and larger sweat to do that. It does. Rugby is a sport of gentlemen. Awesome that you are a top player, Stan. What's it they say? Rugby is a gentleman's sport. Or sorry, rugby is a thug's sport played by gentlemen, and soccer is a gentleman's sport played by thugs. Is that what they say? Well, that's what they say here in Ireland. Right, guys. I'm heading off. If anyone has any questions, I'll give you another 2 minutes before I go away. It's illegal to turn a DX into anything other than a DX. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose, really, yeah. That makes sense. So, guys, I forgot to say it too, actually. After this live, there will be a video published from the channel, from the Victory Show. Go check it out. Go enjoy it. Go like it. Give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment on it. Did I win the challenge? What was the challenge? Oh, yes, you did, Stan. You won the challenge. If any of you don't know, go have a look at Stan's video as well. He had a budget. His missus gave him 50 quid of a budget for the month. He'd already blown about 25 of it by the time I got talking to him. So I gave him a challenge, as in blow the rest of it and see how much military stuff you can get for that 25 quid. Now, he did cheat a small bit, and he didn't add the post into the 25 euros. But look, I'll give it to him. He still did a fantastic job of it. I think he didn't go that far over budget anyway. I think he only went like a tenner between post and stuff over budget. So that would have been around £35. So we'll give him that. But he did cheat. He didn't listen to the rules. The rules were only pay 25. No, I'm only joking, Stan. I would pay Jim, but the older I get, the longer the queue I need to play. I would play Jim. I'm not sure what you mean now. Cheers, everyone. Have an awesome weekend. Yes, Jim, have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you again, and we hope you arrive. Visitors arrive. Got to go. Bye for now. Slán Amalia. Take care. Take care, Gary Knight. Great chat as always. No problem, Gary. Until next time. Then take care, gents. Best regards. Drabajinka, everyone. Naraja, Jim, Naraja, Richard. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you later. Enjoy yourselves. Have a safe weekend. And we will see you all same time, same channel next week. And see. Sorry, as I said, there will be a video coming up right after this. So enjoy, lads. Have a good one. And see you all next week, same time, 8 o'clock.